Hey everybody, welcome back to the race review from Richmond. We're going to review quickly the first three races of the weekend, and then we'll get to the Cup race because that's the one that everyone's here for. Let's start with the truck race. Truck race was pretty good. Had a tire strategy that kind of came into play at the end. Grant Enfinger, I believe, passed Ben Rhodes and ended up driving off and winning that race. I think Moffitt ended up third or fourth or fifth, had a pretty good run. He's obviously my favorite driver, so I'll touch on that. But the playoffs are now set, so they're going to get ready to roll there. But overall, it was, trucks returning to Richmond wasn't bad, but the fact is that the trucks are always kind of, I don't know, they struggle. They don't have enough horsepower, and it does hurt them at some tracks. Richmond, let's face it, Richmond's not that great of a track. It's a little overrated. Probably, it's nice to be in the playoffs, but I wouldn't mind it getting swapped out with something. Xfinity race number one, Justin Allgaier has the best car and ends up winning that race. Him and Justin Haley kind of duel it out, but in the end, he drives off and wins. Same thing in the race number two. He was the best car. Caution came out with 20 to go, but didn't really matter, so he ended up winning both of those. So an Allgaier weekend, so he's suddenly looking like a championship contender. Brett Moffitt had a great run in the first Xfinity race. In the second one, he was running pretty well. He was up inside the top 10, and something happened randomly, and he lost a ton of speed. I never ended up finding out if he got into somebody or something, but his lap times dropped off randomly, just boom, half a second slower, and it never recovered for the rest of the race. So not sure what happened. It seems like there must have been something, but the broadcast team doesn't really touch on anything unless you're running first or second. So not really sure, but again, Justin Allgaier was the best. He won. Ross Chastain was pretty good, but he was never, he was never going to be the number one car to win that race. So, good run for Jeb Burton and Haley and Chastain and those guys. Gregson had an okay run. He kind of fell off at the end, but Cup race. Okay, so Harvick starts on pole. He runs. Let's see. He runs pretty well, and then. Let's see who Austin Dillon gets to the lead, and Austin Dillon ends up, I believe, leading. Does he win stage one? God, I don't remember. Or is it? I can't remember who won stage one, honestly. But he basically was running up front. End of stage one, pit stops. Denny Hamlin speeds. Austin Dillon speeds. So classic Denny Hamlin, I guess. But it puts them both towards the back, and then Harvick gets back to the lead with Logano and Keselowski. Logano and Keselowski drive away during stage two. Truex, Elliott, Harvick, all of them are just kind of sitting third, fourth, fifth, sixth, kind of that area all night. They just kind of rode there. They were never really fast enough to contend with the leaders, but they weren't really slow enough to fall back or anything like that. So, anyway, the second stage went to Brad Keselowski. Austin Dillon drove his way up and finished second in the stage. He actually did a different pit strategy. Not really different. He just short pitted it, and because his car was so good, he didn't fall off so bad. In the third stage, he probably would have been able to do the same thing, except he missed pit road and lost a ton of time. He lost 3, 4, 5 seconds, and honestly, I think had he got there, it would have been a really good battle to the finish, but unfortunately, it didn't happen. So Brad Keselowski came out with the lead, or took the lead right away, and then just drove off and sat at about a 4-second, or 3, 2, something like that. Never really that far out of reach, but never really that close either. Chase's day was pretty good. He had a good super long run car, but the tires fell off to the point that it wasn't really worth anything. He was the fastest car on track with about 10 to go, but that was 60 laps into a run, and tires made more sense pretty much everywhere else. So the only time he would have even been able to use it is if suddenly a yellow had come out with 75 laps to go or something like that. So it never really would have worked out well for him. Just needs to be better on the shorter run. But a solid points day going into Bristol. He has a cushion now. He's not guaranteed to go past, but he basically doesn't wreck himself, and he gets points in stage 1 and 2. He should move on. So he has opened up some options. So next week, if he wins stage 1, or not even wins, if he just gets top 10 in stage 1 and 2, he should have about a 40-point buffer. And if he's got a 40-point buffer, he should be safe. Again, no guarantees, but for the most part, I'm just willing to bet, he'll be okay. So with my playoff predictions, the only ones that I think are in the biggest trouble, Blaney, as I predicted, is in pretty big trouble. Now, Bristol is one of his better tracks, but he has a big point cushion to overcome. So he's got he's got to get up front at Bristol, and he's got to win those 2 stages to even have a shot at pointing his way in. DiBenedetto's in the same boat. They are not going to point their way in without winning stages, or obviously winning the race. But if they're going to point their way in, they got to be up in the top 3 in both stages. If they're not in the top 3 of both stages and they just get some points, I still don't think it's enough to guarantee it. Now, again, there could be a crash on lap 5 that takes out 5 contenders, and suddenly it's just survival of the fittest. But I hope that's not the case. But, that's where they're at this point. So, it was a good race. Ish. It's better than some places, but frankly, Richmond is not a great track. I think one of the biggest issues that Richmond has is because of the curve on the front straightaway, it makes it a little bit hard to really get in the gas coming out of the corner, and so you end up with kind of these side-by-side battles, which are fun, but they can't maintain them long enough. Like Bristol, you can sit trying to get past a guy for 5 laps and really have everybody close in on you. With Richmond, because of how the front straightaway is, you actually don't lose as much time being side by side. So you end up actually missing out on some action. Like, when Brad was trying to lap Cole Custer, for instance, I think it took him 5-6 laps. Nobody could even close in on him because essentially when you're battling side by side, you don't lose as much time, where frankly, you almost want to lose more time, or that's what we want. We want them to lose more time. So that way, when they're losing that time, it bunches them up and they can battle a little bit more. So that's something that I think Richmond I think it would benefit if Richmond was just a flat up oval. I don't think the D shape works anywhere, honestly. I think the D shape is always a bad thing to have, because what it does is it makes the bottom line much more usable. And you look at Homestead, the top line is dominant and it's great. We love it. Atlanta, the bottom line is, and partially it's just the grip level, but also it's just, you have that D shape where the front straightaway, you can kind of open the wheel up, and so being on the bottom's okay. That's why I think ovals are the best. Look at Bristol, top line. If you're not clear on the straightaway, the top line will run right past you. Martinsville is a little different because you got long straightaways, super flat corners. So, but I'm guessing that oval that they're going to put at Auto Club, small D, but still going to be very high bank, very oval shaped. It's not going to be like Richmond where you kind of open the wheel up and come around the front straightaway. There, you're going to have a little bit of a curve, but not that much. So, because even Fontana used to be fairly top or high line dominant. So. Richmond's okay, not great. Iowa's the same way. They're actually, the thing about Iowa is because of the way it's got the progressive banking, they actually do have a top line dominant track, which is fun to watch because it's hard to pass, and that's a good thing. When the slowest car's out, or not the slowest, but when the fastest car isn't out front, you end up with a lot of cars trying to battle to get past. So I would love to see Iowa, not in the playoffs necessarily, but I would love to see them get a race, especially one from Richmond or somewhere else. Texas would be a good option too, but that's just my opinion. I would love to see Iowa snag a race. I'm going to keep beating that drum until it falls over. I know the track isn't the greatest facility, but let me tell you, the racing on that track would be great, especially with those Cup cars. So anyway, that will pretty much wrap up this review. Let me know your thoughts on the race down below in the comments. Figure I may as well show this off. I don't pull this car out very often. This is Elliott's 2015 Richmond Win Elite. The cool part is the little mirror. You see that hanging out the side? That's not on very often. There's not a lot of cars that have a big round mirror hanging off the side. So that was kind of cool. That was something the Xfinity cars did for a couple of years, and thought that was pretty neat. But, a little bit of a right scrape. It was kind of a cool car. So I decided I'd pull it out of the case and show it off because I thought these Elites were always really, really good. So I just figured it was a good show-off car for tonight. But anyway, Brad Keselowski wins the race, so he'll be on to the next round. So anyway, I guess I will have a review for Bristol, kinda. I'm going to be down there, so we're going to have some clips and kind of a montage to put together next week. But I hope you guys have enjoyed. Hope you guys enjoy the Bristol videos that I'll be getting ready to put together. I got reviews coming all week, so make sure you turn on the bell, and we'll see you in the next Diecast review.